Hello everyone, and welcome back with another daily game review. In today's game we have Farful versus Nomad Farmer, a 9Q versus a 10Q. This is our number 7 daily game review, so we have been officially doing this for a week now. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the series, and I've been getting a lot of submissions, so I do apologize that I can't get to every single game that's submitted. However, I do try to make this as random as possible, so if you submit a game, right now I think it's about a 1 in 3 chance to get it reviewed. It may go up to about a 1 in 4 chance in the future, but as of the making of this video, is around a 1/3 to 1/4 chance of getting your game reviewed. Because of that, I must apologize to all the games I can't get to. If you don't see your game within a week after posting it, then I probably didn't get to it. You are free to resubmit your game and try and get another game reviewed. You can also submit your games to get reviewed in the future again. Remember, you guys, I don't mind if you submit more than one game. But try not to spam it, since I do want to give everyone a fair chance. But if you guys submit maybe 1 or 2 games a week, that is perfectly fine. And if I don't get to your game, sorry, but this is how it works. I can't get to every single game, but thank you for your submissions regardless. I did take notice of each and every one of you guys submitting games, and it's so great and so thrilling to see all of you guys participating and submitting your games. And without you guys submitting your games, I would have nothing to review. All right, but so thanks to everyone who has submitted their games so far and who plans to do it in the future. I'm really liking these games, and I'm liking the series too. I think the series is doing really well. I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. And without further ado, let's take a look at the game. Alright, here we have Farful playing black and Nomad Farmer playing white. Got a near and say going on versus a start point and 3/4 point, common opening. And we play here, and he plays this move. This move's a little bit strange because it will allow white to cut you off. I think what black's goal here is just to live in the corner. However, let's look at the result. Okay, so white decides to pincer. So I think black's goal here is to actually make life in the corner with something like this. However, you will notice that this shape is a little bit less than if he had just played the 3/3 here. So now we can look at this shape and see that black got a little bit more compared to this variation. So that means this variation is a little bit of a loss for black. White could also think to pincer here with some move in order to get the outside influence, and the inside is a little bit lacking for black compared to white's influence. There is this cutting point, however, it should be okay for white to deal with due to the fact that this stone is not very strong. So I think this result would be good for white. Therefore, I think this move is a little bit of an overplay, since the normal Joseki is either 3/3 or reduced like this. However, black succeeded in tricking his opponent, and white tried to pincer. And so now we see that black is probably going to be able to connect his stones. Instead, he jumps. Now a cut would be really powerful, I believe. We do have to consider this wedge, though. Let's see how this plays out. So if white plays here, black plays here. White can't play here because that just doesn't look good, right? So white must play here, and then black, white, black, white, black, white, black, and it looks like black's shape is just getting cut apart. So again, I think this is a little bit better for white. The influence is a little questionable. However, you can see the black's 4 stones in the center are really weak, and white has a very easy time of settling this position. So you can see that black has a weak group in the center, white got the outside, black lived on the inside with maybe 7 points. And since black has the weak group, it's something white's going to be able to attack and gain more than 7 points in profit by attacking. Actually, you can see white just got like 6 or like maybe 5 points up here, maybe a couple points over here as well, and he gets to attack this group. So I'd say it's a little bit better for white in this case. So I think it's okay if white chooses to come back and cut here, even if black does something like this. If you're worried about the cut, maybe you can just think to play this way. And even if black does this, white can then honey here. And you can see while black lives in the corner, he has weak stones on the outside. So I still think this variation is good for white. However, white deciding not to cut off black at d18 and decides to go here. Let's see how this plays out. And it looks like it's going to be good for black because h17 is now cut off and it's in a broken shape. So you can see that white just got cut off by black. Black is all connected. And it looks really good for black. Black stealing the corner, white not getting much profit, and black getting the top side. This stone really damaged, so this result looks good for black. And black has succeeded in tricking white with this c18 move. I think that's basically all c18 is a type of trick move to confuse your opponent and try and gain profit. White's now going here to try and possibly get a cutoff, but maybe does this work? Oh, he connected. He can't connect. So if black goes here, it actually looks similar to the previous shape. Black's shape in the corner just looks a little bit better, right? However, this result still should be okay for white. But black also might consider a ko. However, there's no ko threat in the opening, so okay, so no ko. So this result would have to be like this. And let's see, black got 6, 8, 10 points in the corner with some good yosei. And white not getting as much on the outside. So I think this result is probably a little bit even, maybe a little bit advantageous for black, because remember in the other result we showed here, black had less points in the corner, white had more liberties, and black was weaker because white had more liberties and black had less forcing moves. However, if you compare it to this variation, now you can see that there's potential forcing moves and endgame. There's even a peep here. So I think it's a little bit easier for black to work with here, and white's a little bit weaker than he should have been, so I think maybe it's okay for black. However, this position, several mistakes by both players have been made, so it's really hard to evaluate. However, white connecting here, making this really ugly B2 bomber shape. This shape is not a good shape, as many people may think it is, due to its how famous it is. However, this is a really bad dumpling shape, which means it has bad liberties and it has like 0 points of territory. So this shape is really not good for white. Black now connecting and getting good shape. White trying to cut here to salvage something. Black maybe overplaying a little bit. I don't think it's necessary to cut this off. I believe he's trying to attack both sides, but honestly, I just don't see how necessary it is. Just play something normal and sorry, that was supposed to be here, and you could even maybe push one more and play something normal, get the top side. White gets a little bit on the left, but you stole white's corner, so I think it's still perfectly fine for black. Black also still has some forcing moves in the center, so white still owes a move, and then black can easily just reduce like this. And you can see black's developing much very nicely, and white has a position. White doesn't have nothing. But I kind of like black better because black has some now good endgame here, a lot of Aji, a lot of forcing moves, and this was white's corner originally. And remember, you shouldn't play the game thinking your opponent's going to get nothing. You just need to get a little bit more than your opponent, and I think black has pretty much succeeded in doing that here. White does have a position, but he's completely over-concentrated on one side because all the white stones are on one side of the board, and you really want to get to all over the board much more quickly. So I think black's a little bit ahead here, in my personal opinion, but it's, again, difficult to evaluate because both players made many mistakes in this corner. Alright, getting back to the game, black instead extends here, creating a fight. It's hard to say who this fight's good for. I want to say... actually, I don't know. I don't know who the fight's good for. If black is going to play like this, though, he needs to jump here because he invested now, right? Once you invest in a group, then you need to save it. And when you have multiple weak groups, then you should save the weakest one, and that can change it, but like at any time it can change. So like each move, maybe the opposite one is weaker, so maybe this one's weaker now, next move that one's weaker, next move that one's weaker. You never know. But at this point in time, these two stones are weaker than the top group, because the top group still has eye shape, has Ataris here, so this group is definitely weaker. Also, white is not completely alive here, and white's cut off in the center, so you can get some several forcing moves here. White now trying to survive. Black can play much faster in this case, and you can see there's a lot of forcing moves to this group. White is still cut off in the center, but black's also not in a great position either. I think running with the stone was completely unnecessary. However, I think black does need to save it now that he's invested. But playing like this is just going to hurt these two stones. And Tanuki. Okay, so if you're going to just give it up, maybe giving it up's fine. Maybe he realized that, hey, this is going to be too heavy to invest in, so I should just give it up. However, if you're going to give it up, you should have just gave it up from the first stone before you added an additional stone to it, right? So okay, maybe he realized he made a mistake and then decided to give it up. I guess that's possible, and that might be fine. But if you're going to play a move, normally you follow it up. If you realize you made a mistake, then okay, you don't have to follow it up, but you probably shouldn't have made the move in the first place then. So that's basically what the real kicker is. You shouldn't have extended here. Now black getting to the next big move, white playing a pincer to try and make some combination up here. Black going here. Not really necessary. I think this move's a little bit overplayed because black is trying to make sure white doesn't get anything, but it's not about white not getting anything. It's about you getting more than white. So if we just play a normal Joseki, then I think it's good enough. And you might consider a pincer here. Maybe even just reducing is good enough. You never know. You could also think to play this Joseki, and now we play out this variation. Oops, sorry. We play out this variation like this, and you can see now an invasion here becomes quite possible. Or you can just simply reduce. I mean, just reducing seems okay. So you never know. Even a basic Joseki here will be fine. Even if white gets this area, let's say black ignores and white does get this area. That area is not that big. This area is only this much. It's only maybe 20, 30 points, if that. And that's if white invests the move. White still hasn't invested move. Black can still reduce it quite a bit. And black's getting the Sanrensei, a huge position on the right. So I think black's leading in this board. So that means I think it's completely unnecessary to play this way. All right. Black making an unnecessary weak group now. Now he's really trying to overplay, and just I'm not sure what he's getting at. He's investing in places he shouldn't invest in. He's creating a weakness. He's trying to save dead stones. Just there's no point. You need to get to the big moves. Just live with this stone down here. Give white some area and just get more. Your opponent has to get something, right? Otherwise, your opponent's just passing every turn. And if we think of it this way, our opponent's going to get something and we're going to get something. The idea is to get a little bit more than your opponent. It's not about stopping your opponent from getting anything, because that's pretty much impossible in Go, because you can't stop every single bit of territory that white gets or your opponent gets. So in this case, I think black is trying really too hard to stop all of his opponent's territory, and instead he's just focused on getting more than his opponent, because I think he can. I think he was gonna be leading this game if he would have just played normal and played the Sanrensei. But now he's investing in a weak group and he might die. So you can see how like fearing your opponent getting something and trying to destroy it is actually making black putting black in a losing position versus when he was in a winning position. Black playing here, I think black could have thought about a Hana here. It would have been much more powerful. And you can see the B2 bomber looks really ugly now, and actually the situation got completely reversed. I feel like I missed something of white. Why is white dying? So black playing a shoulder hit here, white playing here. Now we can see that white doesn't have a base, so white should probably defend here. You can maybe even consider extending one more peep so black can't connect, and then make a base, and it should be okay for you, right? You could even make this exchange and then go here, and you can see white's going to live on the inside and black's really weak on the outside. However, it looks like white played here, and I think this is a mistake, because if black plays this way, then you can see white's practically dead. However, black played here, missing his chance, connecting. White ignoring the group. Does this cut work? It doesn't look like it does just yet. However, black's going to seal white in. White making unnecessary moves because black can now go here. And it doesn't look like white can do anything to this. And I think white is pretty much dead. Black, however, making this cut. Let's see how he plays it out. Okay, I thought he was going to maybe play here and then connect, but white can live like this. Yeah, so white can live. So you could have killed. Black could have killed by playing here. You can see the eye shape isn't nearly as bad, and there's not enough liberties to do anything. So white could have died. Black, however, extending here and making it cut here, and oh wow, this looks like it works. But white can live. White can live. So white goes here. You capture 2 stones. This isn't the way to play. This is the way to play. This way, when black connects, you get the Atari. It makes sure you get this eye. If black goes here, obviously you can go there. This guarantees the eye. However, if white goes here, black can actually make a ko like this, and you can see that white is still not completely alive. Oh, white can live this way. Okay. Okay, so looks like white can still live. Yeah, okay, white can still live. However, if you would have just played this way, it's a little bit simpler, and white can only live because of the liberties on this side. So if this wasn't here, this would be the only move. So it's a nice little trick. So it looks like white can live no matter what. Okay, so black still missed this chance with the cut and extend. Black seeing that white can live, so he ignores and comes back here, trying to save his group. He has 1 eye, and he goes here, but this move doesn't really. I don't think it helps much. I think I would come out here and split off the white center stones, get off a counterattack. The reason I don't like this move is this exact reason right here, because when white clamps here, it looks like you just help white cut you off, and help white get some shape. So I think this exchange just doesn't do anything for black, and you still need to jump. Black making some shape here, but every move here hurts this D5 stone. I think black actually has a lot of issues with hurting himself. He's saving unnecessary stuff. He's hurting the necessary stuff that he needs to be saving. He's trying to stop white from getting absolutely anything, and he also didn't read the top left corner correctly. So black, I think, has several things to work on. Don't worry about playing stuff like C18 and tricking your opponent, because honestly, I think black just doesn't have the reading to back it up. Black, you need to revert your game back to the basics. This is going to be difficult, but that's basically what you should focus on. As for white, you gotta learn to see your opponent's weaknesses a little bit better and work on your reading. This is gonna come with reviewing your games and probably getting your games reviewed by stronger players. So you can see that at several times white had chances to do stuff to black, and black overplayed several times as well. Both players messed up in the top left. White tried to get a position, but black invaded too much, and then white was able to attack, but then white got himself cut off and a little bit weak and could have died. So I think both players definitely need to up their life and death. White, it's hard, learn to deal with your opponent's weaknesses. The only way you can really do that is get your games reviewed by stronger players and review professional games to see how they deal with weaknesses, how they attack it, exploit it, and whatnot. But honestly, black's the one who's been making most of the mistakes so far. Black has made far more mistakes than white, and you can see this position is so difficult for black, and it was completely unnecessary. Black was in a winning position, and or black was in a leading position, and he just completely made it unnecessary for himself. Here you can see again black trying to live where he can't live. White has to get something, right? You're just gonna create more dead groups. white defending his weak group, black trying to come in, both players defending, and black now getting to the big move. Black still has some weakness, but it's really hard to attack this shape because black can just live in one move here, and also he's out. So I think a Tanuki is a good idea. White playing another normal move, and now we get back to a normal game. However, the entire left side was completely crazy. I'm not sure what black was doing. White had difficulty responding to his moves as well. So I think black's made most of the mistakes this game. However, because white wasn't able to punish properly, somehow it kind of worked out for black. But as soon as you get stronger black, as soon as you face stronger level players, they're going to start punishing this, and you're eventually going to have to get rid of these moves. Even if it works against 10 Qs right now, it doesn't mean it's going to work against 5 Qs, 1 Qs, or Don level players. So it's better to fix these early on and not even bother with strategies like these, because honestly, you need to learn how to trade with your opponent, not just destroy your opponent's area. It's good to destroy your opponent's area when you absolutely need to, but you have to learn the timing of when to do this, and you also have to understand how to trade with your opponent properly, so that way you can get something and he gets something. Alright, so black now playing here, white invading the top. Well, the top's definitely big, but he's going to have to really watch the Aji on the right side. Black letting white live in the corner, white cutting here to okay, yeah, so he gets this shape. Black making an empty triangle, almost never a good shape. Instead, he could have gone like here. White plays, black plays, and you can see white has to live in the corner, like so. And if you're wondering about this, white can't Atari because of that. And if white goes here, then you can see maybe it's a little bit Aji, but now there's a peep in here as well. I think it's just better to play it this way. I think this way is just a little bit better. And that way you live in the corner. However, black playing an empty triangle and now extending here. White now making life, and running with this stone is definitely not the move. You have to go here. But even if you could, even if we assume you're alive in the corner, you want to go and play the next big move, maybe here or something. This is the same thing black did earlier, saving unnecessary stones, creating unnecessary weak groups, investing in areas you don't need to invest in. You can reduce this or something. You don't need to save this one stone. It's not important. However, white trying to come out and do something, and black now taking the eye shape, and black Tanukis. You should definitely go here. That way, you punish white's overplay here, white making unnecessary weakness, so black can go ahead and punish here, and you can see that white is in a hard position. However, black plays a Tanuki, and now white may have a chance to jump here and attack this group. Instead, he gets some forcing moves here, maybe reasonable, and saves another stone. Just jump out, get out, do something, and you can see that black's completely weak on the right side, and this game is starting to reverse into white's favor if white plays this way. However, white playing unnecessary exchanges here, making more weakness, and black not responding correctly. Just go up here. If white cuts, you can threaten here, and if white tries to kill you, you can surround white here. White doesn't have the liberties to do anything to you. Like so, and it's eye versus no eye, so it's difficult to play. Maybe he wasn't able to read this out. There's also some questions to ask. What if white comes out here? Maybe you can just connect. Is it good for you? Not good for you? Who knows? Okay, so let's say black wasn't sure, so he played here. At least played this move for the eyes. You definitely need some eye shape here. If you're really worried about it, why not here? I think black's worried that white is going to surround him here. We play this way. White has to go here. And then play like this. It looks okay. It looks okay, but looks can sometimes be deceiving. Okay, and then these two stones die. So difficult reading here, actually. Difficult reading. So black playing here, trying to connect. White going here and cutting him off. Black trying to make life and now attacking the stones. You want to play here to threaten the cut. And I don't know who's doing good here. I think Black's gonna die. I think Black's gonna die. And we can see Black died. Alright, so the game completely reversed into White's favor. It's really funny to see both players living with unnecessary stones, and it should be bad for them, but the opponents, both players can't punish their opponent properly, and it somehow becomes amazing. So let's see, what could have Black done after White plays here? Actually, no, it was this move, right? He should have capped. That's what it was. And then we can see that Black has much better shape now. Much better shape. And it's a lot easier for Black to live, and White's cut off. So this is what it was. Black Tanuki'd an important area. And that's why it became so difficult to Black. Also this shape. Push one and then jump. However, excuse me. You can see that Black failing here and dying. So Black decides to try and attack White on the right side now. White not playing the proper sequence here. The proper sequence is to seal Black in like this. Black plays here, White plays here, Black plays here, and then White fixes. This is the proper sequence and the most common sequence. However, playing like this is definitely bad because now Black gets to split these three stones off from these two stones, and White is completely cut apart. And Black now trying to attack these stones very severely now, and Black is working his way back into the game. White trying to live, Black just keeping White cut. Normally you don't Atari cross cut, you Nobi, and in this case it looks better. Atari cross cuts are usually rare cases. And here it looks like this one for sure should be this move. White trying to connect, Black cutting White off. Actually, if White gets this move, it looks pretty powerful for White. And now it looks like Black is dying, and actually, I think Black is dying everywhere. I think it's game over for Black if White plays this move. So, actually, Black can't do this, can he? Black is dying here. No, he has to play this move. However, White can make this exchange. Maybe Black can play some Sabaki here. Hard to say. Hard to say. Very difficult situation. However, if White plays this move, it's over. White playing here, and we can see Black trying to come out. This is an unnecessary peep. And White playing here. I think White should think about cutting Black off, but Black has no eyes in the center, in this area. But if White goes here, it's over. It's done. Black trying to get some forcing moves, cutting off this group successfully now, and you can see both players fighting very hard in this area, and White Tanukis. This cannot ever be the right move because you have 1, 2, 3, and if you cut 4 groups dying on this board. Like 4 groups dying. You cannot Tanuki that. Definitely cannot Tanuki that. And both players Tanukiing the dying groups. White getting the first move, Black connecting, White finally cutting Black off, and now you can see this game-deciding fight is looking to be in White's favor. White Tanuking again. Instead, should start focusing on taking the liberties of Blacks and trying to win this capturing race somehow. It looks like it should be in White's favor. Maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh, black got it. Black got it. Okay, but white. And then if this dies, this lives, huh? Oh, man. Oh, man. Wait. Why didn't black capture here? Why didn't black capture here? I don't understand. This is important, right? White. Black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white. So black has to go here. White. So even the capture doesn't work? Oh man, this is so complicated. Maybe here? Then white goes... like this. Make it I versus no I. And then white. What if white just connects here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4. White gotta move. Okay, so white got here. White has 4 liberties compared to four liberties. It's the same. It's the same. Okay, so and black and white and black and white and black. It's a co. A 2-step, 3-step co. So like I never can count these. So like 2 or 3-step co for black. So white should have this. So white can kill black. So instead of trying to go for the liberties on these stones, you go for the liberties on these stones. Oh man, so such a complicated situation. However, this fails for black. So as we can see, even if black plays here, white's just going to take the outside liberties, and it works for white. Let's see the info, and it is white by resignation. All right, so this is a complicated game. But while it looks really cool at the end, and it looks like a skillful reading and everything, I think all of these fights are completely unnecessary. I think both players lived with things they shouldn't have tried to live with, were ignoring the big moves, and their reading definitely needs work. I know I also struggled a little bit there. So this area was definitely quite difficult to read. So you would have used a lot of time reading this area out. However, I think white and black both just made unnecessary weak groups, and both players tanukied the fights, and they tanukied the most important fights on the board. So I think both players have a lot to learn from this game. So what I would recommend is both players focus on defending your weaknesses first, then focus on exploiting your opponent's weaknesses properly in Sente, and then play the big moves, and stop invading areas that are unnecessary to invade. And when I say defend your weak groups, I mean groups that are important. I don't mean single stones like this one where you extend it here. If it's one stone and it's not important, then don't worry about it. I think black thought that he could split these black stones and it was a cutting stone. At first glance it looks like that, but you need to realize you're behind enemy lines. As soon as black caps like this, white is in a very difficult position, and once black gets thickness here, he can easily attack these 2 stones. So an unnecessary risk there, unnecessary risk here, unnecessary invasion here. So many unnecessary moves. They created an unnecessarily complicated situation. So I think both players, stop worrying about your opponent getting something and just go and get your own thing as well. If your opponent invades, you've got to learn how to attack and gain profit. So you got to read carefully. You got to learn how to attack, and to do this, you do life and death, or you do go problems in general. Go problems. Review professional games and play teaching games with some stronger players. That's basically all I can recommend for you guys right now. But you gotta revert your game back to the basics and stop all this unnecessary invasions and invasions and living and stuff like this. There's a lot of unnecessary moves in this game. However, the ending was quite complicated and quite exciting. Definitely, I think in the comments they said it was like a nail biter of a game, and yeah, you could definitely say that. Definitely a nail biter. But it shouldn't have been, right? Black had an easily controllable position, an easily leading position, and he made unnecessary invasions. Then white killed the top. White had an easy position, and then he didn't attack black properly. So white, you've got to work on your attack and your punishing skills. And you're just going to have to get players to review your games until you get it. You got to play stronger players as well. Review how the stronger players punished your mistakes, and review pro games and do life and death or do go problems. Black, revert your game back to the basics. You're playing a lot of unnecessary invasions. Your reading needs work, so life and death problems. Review pro games to see how they play and how they play quickly and efficiently. And don't play a lot of unnecessary trick moves like C18. It's throwing off your game. D10. It's just your opponent's going to get something. You just have to learn to trade with them and get a little bit more. Alright, well, a little bit of ranting on that one. However, I think it's important to emphasize that while these games are exciting, they're unnecessary, and they need to you need to stick to the basics if you want to improve. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. This was definitely a complicated game for sure, and difficult reading and difficult to play, but hopefully this was helpful for the players, and hopefully this was helpful for you guys. And remember, if you want to have your games submitted for a chance to get them reviewed in one of these videos, in daily game review videos, please read the description below and submit your game on the link. Yeah, if you guys do that, I will get them, and hopefully I'll get to see your game. Anyway, until the next video, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.